Have you ever been stuck trying to answer an IELTS listening and speaking question and suddenly your mind goes blank? You're thinking, wait, which words actually matter in this sentence? Don't worry, we've all been there, but today we're actually going to fix that. I'm going to show you how to spot the keywords in any sentence, the words that actually carry the most meaning. These are usually nouns, verbs, adjectives, and adverbs. And guess what? Once you learn to notice these quickly, IELTS listening and speaking becomes a whole lot easier. So let's get right into the video. Assalamu alaikum. Make sure you download the PDF of this particular lesson. You could find the link in my bio. So let's talk about IELTS listening. In the IELTS listening section, you only hear the audio once. If you miss the keyword, then you might miss the answer. That's why your ears need to focus on keywords, not every single word. The final lecture will be held in the science auditorium, not the usual room. The answer for this may be science auditorium. And you're probably wondering, how do you catch that? You've noticed the noun is auditorium in this sentence and the adjective is science. That's key information that most likely will carry the answer in the sentence. So let's try a quick IELTS listening sentence. The workshop starts at 2 p.m. and will be held in room B7. As you see in this sentence, the nouns were workshop and room B7. And the verbs are starts, and the time here says 2 p.m. And now let's talk about the speaking section. So you want to make sure you sound clear, confident, and expressive. What's the best way to do that? Use powerful nouns, verbs, adjectives, and adverbs in your answer. And let's say the examiner asks, do you enjoy watching movies? You can keep it short and say something like, yes, I like movies. Remember that this is better than silence, but it's quite simple and not the type of answer the examiner is actually looking for. Rather, if you try to use some keywords in your answer and say something like, yes, I really enjoy action movies, especially because they're exciting and fast-paced. This gives lots of details throughout your answer. So in this particular answer, you've used nouns, verbs, adjectives, and adverbs. That's how you level up in your response and score that band 7, 8, or 9 on your IELTS speaking exam. So remember that nouns are people, places, and things. A sample sentence would be, I studied economics at university. Or you could say something like, I have a car, he visited the museum, she loves her job. Verbs are action or state words. So for example, you would say something like, I usually wake up early and check my emails. And the verbs here are wake up and check. Or you could say something like, she travels a lot. He is a doctor. They were talking all night. Moving along to adjectives, remember that adjectives describe nouns. These words actually give you meaning in the sentence. So for example, you could say something like, it was a beautiful day in the quiet village. And finally, adverbs. Adverbs describe how, when, where, or to what degree. Adverbs tell us how something happens, often ending in the ly sound. So for example, you could say something like, he answered the question quickly and confidently. Now let's say the examiner asks you, describe a trip that you enjoyed. Try saying something like, last year I went to Istanbul with my family. We explored the old city, ate delicious food, and I absolutely loved the experience. The nouns in this particular sentence were Istanbul, city, food, experience, while the verbs were went, explored, ate, and loved. Then adjectives included old and delicious, and the adverbs here were absolutely. So just to wrap up, remember to focus on nouns, verbs, adjectives, and adverbs. Just remember, these are your best friends during the IELTS speaking test. And if you like this video, let me know in the comments so I know to make more videos similar to this one. Assalamu alaikum.